This is A View from the Bridge, official podcast of the Belfast Giants for kingdomofthegiants.com. Today's Tuesday, the 5th of April, 2022. It's 9:01 p.m. and we are live on YouTube, Facebook, and on Twitter. You can also download us, of course, on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Anchor FM, and a load more of your normal podcast providers. On this week's show, a weekend of tension as first place, second in the titles on the line. The league leaders against a team that embraced the orange with a bad defeat on Sunday. But we're not here to talk about what happened at Ibrox. No, we're here to talk about hockey. Let's look quickly back at the... I had to put that one. Let's see you, Davey. Listen, you boys give it out enough. I'm taking it back. Let's look quickly back at the victories of the Clan and the Flames. 19 was retired on Friday, and... that number's owner will join us a little under half an hour. Oh, he's back. The fan agenda is with JJ Piccinich, and we'll take your questions live. We'll also give you the nominees for the Player of the Month for March. And Aaron Murphy, who joins us to give us the lowdown on what to expect from Premier Sports in the final weeks of this season. If you're watching us live on Facebook or on YouTube, please send us your thoughts, comments, tell us where you're watching from, send us your questions. We'll share as many as we can on screen and maybe get involved in some of the discussion. Mr. Mid-Jimsy, how are you?
Good evening, not too bad, Paddy. It's getting towards the exciting end of the season here now, and we're right in the hunt, so round to go, mate.
And Mr. Kitchen, how's your voice?
It's a wee bit better at the minute, mate. I was struggling on Sunday.
A few lockets.
I tried everything like honey and all sorts of bits and pieces, but I was so genuinely, it was the hardest one I got done. If I had anybody I was hoping Davey was going to be home at the weekend, but he was busy having to do a bit of work for a change.
It was.
Unfortunately, I had to get it all done, but anyway, it was a good enough. We got through it. It wasn't a good enough game, but we got through it.
I enjoyed hearing Gareth Martin on with you. I thought that was really good.
Yeah, we're trying to just get out some of the old guys that get them back in and involved in the club and trying to do more. So, it's Marty's never done it before, and I was speaking to him a few weeks ago. He was at the game, and he said, "Yeah, I'd love to try it." And then when he seen Graham Walton doing it,
he wanted to get involved.
So I think the only one we need to try and get hold of now is Mark Morrison, but with him coaching the junior Giants, it's difficult to try and get hold of him. So hopefully, the start of next season, might be able to organise something with Mo.
Yep, I thought Gareth Martin was really good value, and hopefully we'll maybe get him on the podcast in coming weeks.
Yeah.
Right, let's get stuck in, boys. We'll start with that game that took place against the Glasgow Clan the second time we played them in a weekend. It was a 5-1 win for your Belfast Giants. Scott Conway with the first two goals, first one on the power play. Mark Cooper with the goals 3 and 4, his first one on the power play, and Lewis Hook with the fifth. With regards to the Glasgow Clan, it was Braylon Schmear from Seoul who got their only marker. Tyler Bresker-Owani in goals for Belfast Giants, 22 shots against, 1 goal against. Shane Starr, 36 shots against, 5 goals against, and your refs were Stephen Hogarth and Andrew Dalton. Davey, I was sitting trying to think of comments, and there's usual sort of thing I put on the agenda of sort of talking points, and the only thing I could write down was straightforward, dominant win.
It was a little bit of a carry-on from the game. Was it Tuesday or the Wednesday? Tuesday night, of course, because we did the podcast straight after. It was a bit of a carryover, the same kind of performance. We got out early and got that early goal on the power play again from a little bit of, ill discipline from them again. And, oh dear, is it choppy for you too?
That's a little bit choppy, but
hopefully it'll come on. We got that good goal early on the power play, and we never really looked back. 3 goals up, I think, after 22 minutes, something like that. And as you said, pretty comprehensive performance. It's sometimes difficult, to find things to talk about in performances like that. But I thought the big positive was coming out early. We talk about, I don't like doing the preview, what are we going to do? But it's that first period. It's always crucial in these games. And if you can get up and you can break a team and you can break a bit of their spirit, which they don't look to be a team that has an awful lot of spirit. They've came in late to the season. It's almost we're looking just to get in that bottom half of the table and get into the playoffs and take our chances and down the stretch. But they've got their position now where they're losing games heavily at times. They're indisciplined, and they just came up against the Giants team that were a wee bit hot at the minute. Wasn't what Joel had said a while ago? Don't let them get hot, and they got hot through the month of March, and that was another comfortable enough 2 points, you would say.
We thought, Simon, that there might be a bit of a kickback from the Clan, given that the way the game went, and we heard what Malcolm Cameron had to say after the game over in Glasgow, but we were just too strong for them.
To be honest, they looked like a team that's sort of given up. You know, they were. It wasn't really any competition. I mean, we got a couple of good goals, as Davey said early on. There was a period of play in the first period, probably the guts of 5-6 minutes, that we got 3 or 4 line changes on. They didn't get a change. They managed to ice the puck twice. They could not get the puck. We just kept on skating rings around them in their own zone.
Yep.
As I say, they iced the puck a couple of times just to try and, you know, get the pressure off them. They just couldn't handle it. And we sort of looked like it was a training session for them. And the boys, they played really, really well. I thought they came out, as Davey touched on, we wanted a really good start after Tuesday night. But those 2 games against the Clan, both home and away, I'm sure the Clan fans will be really disappointed. I don't want to say it from our point of view, you know, because we sort of embarrassed. Yeah, I think we sort of embarrassed them twice in the space of a few nights. And as a professional hockey player, you want to go out there and do your best. Of course you do. But I think there's a few of the guys there that have sort of looking here. Do you know what? Where's the golf sticks? We're just looking forward to the end of the season, and they're in a position at the minute where they're still in the playoffs, but they can still get put out. You know, they've.
I was about to say that is a case of can they afford to be like that, because considering how tight things are in the battle for the playoffs.
I was looking at the schedule. Sorry, David. I was looking at the standings before we come on, and you know, Manchester are 4 points short of Guildford, but they've got to play them twice. Glasgow are a point further ahead. Dundee are the same points as Glasgow with a game in hand. Coventry are pushing up. I think Coventry might finish 4th because Nottingham are struggling at the minute as well. But, you know, we look at ourselves. We've just got to concentrate on their own games. But when you're looking at the potential playoff partners going down into a home and away fixture, who would you want to play? Yeah, I would take Glasgow, or I would take Guildford. And out of Guildford, Glasgow, or Manchester, to be honest, because we always find it really difficult to play in Manchester. So for me, I thought that the Clan really struggled. They just couldn't get any fluidity at all. Their passing wasn't on the tape. They just really struggled. And I think that's down to us. I think that's we stopped them playing. Mm-hmm. We just didn't let them get any momentum at all. Yes, they got the goal, which, you know, we probably could have stopped. We could have done a wee bit better for, if you're being, you know, really critical. But there's not many things that went wrong for us on Friday night and the previous Tuesday. So, you know, great to get the 2 points on the board. Great to get another 5 goals. You know, Coops took a couple of goals. Conway had a couple of goals. I thought we played really, really well.
I think the Glasgow Clan, correct me if I'm wrong, are carrying either 1 or 2 additional imports. 2 additional imports, and it's allowing Malcolm Cameron. And you'd think that would be putting a bit of a fire on their players, but if players have checked out, they've checked out, and you know the threat of if you don't play, you're not going to be playing. Go ahead, Sam.
Yeah, but I was looking at the stats before the game on Friday night. Obviously, you're saying all your stats to us regarding the chance, Davey, and I know what I said every week, but it's just imperative and how important that is to us, because although, again, I'm not everybody's taste on Giants TV, but the information that you supply, it makes my job a hell of a lot easier. So thank you very much. But with regards to Glasgow, I was looking at some of the players who have struggled this season. Dyson Stevenson, their captain, scored in the first 2 games of the season. He scored against us, and I think it was Nottingham was their second game.
Yeah.
Hasn't scored since.
Wow.
That's 34 games. Jamie Crooks, 24 goals for Guildford the year before. He scored 1 goal this season. And it was in the first, I can't remember, it was either the first or the second game of the season. Hasn't scored since. Colin Campbell, centerman, the second line. I think it's about 18 games since he got a goal. So when you're not getting goals from guys that you're hoping to get goals from, and you've got 2 guys in and out of the lineup, you know, I actually like Malcolm Cameron, you know, that because, you know, he sort of comes out and says exactly what he's thinking. I like that type of coaching. Yeah. Adam does exactly the same thing. But again, I just think there's some of the boys on that squad who have sort of switched off, and you know what? Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm taking it the wrong way. But that's what it looked like from those two games.
Malcolm Comer did say as well that he talked. It initially sounded like he was making an excuse. I see that Adam McKenzie's making a similar point. And so it sounded like he was making an excuse to the number of the games they were having to play in a short period of time. But he did also, Davey, say, they knew that when they came in, they started 5-6 weeks late.
I don't think at this stage that it can be. It can be a reason. It can't be an excuse. They knew what they were going to do before the start of the season. They knew what they were setting up. They knew they were starting a month late. They didn't have to play. We played 12 games in the Challenge Cup that they haven't played. Granted, we played a good lot of them over that first month when they weren't playing. But if you take it from they've came in, we've played a similar amount of games. I'm sure we played a very similar amount of games in the month of March alone. So no real excuse. We've been short bodies virtually the whole season. We're even over the last couple of games there, we played against the Clan short with Gary being out injured, and again with against the Flames. So we're playing short. They're playing full bench and carrying a couple of guys that they can rotate when there's injuries or when players aren't just really feeling their form. So yes, they've had a lot of games to play, and they played a month. They came in a month late, but over the course of the season, I don't think it can really factor into where they are at the minute. They're letting their coach down at times. I've seen Chris Lovell saying there about riding goaltenders, and Start has faced an awful lot of rubber in the last couple of weeks, to be fair to him. And, when you don't have that, a backup like a Jackson Whistle, I'm trying to think of other ones that can come in, even Will Curling, who's came in at the Nottingham Panthers, or Stojanovic at Sheffield, they get different goaltenders that can come in and just take a wee bit of the weight. Guildford carried two, because the guy playing on Sunday was
Liam Hughes.
Although Liam Hughes is their backup, he's came in as a sort of a 1B, if you like. And I know Lindeskog's played the vast majority of the games. He can be relied on, that big lad. But, I think it is he protecting his players there a little bit and coming out with that kind of statement? Probably. I think that too many games. At this stage of the season, everybody's playing too many games.
Yeah, I agree.
I just looked at their start. In the first 6 games, were 500. 3-3 in the first 6 games.
Yeah.
Played us in the first game of the season. We beat them 3-2. I mean, decently. I actually, when they seen them for the first time, I think they only played one warm-up game against Solway. I thought they actually did pretty well in that game. I remember it well, and I thought they came out and pushed us really hard. But using this excuse that guys aren't ready, they've an extra 4 weeks rest before they come in. Guys, the big thing about it is, Davey and Paddy, guys that are coming in to play professional league should be practicing 3, 4, 5 times a week for the 5 or 6 weeks beforehand anyway. If they're not doing that, that's their fault. So, when they're coming in, they should be ready to go in a training camp, trying to get as much skating in over a couple of weeks period at all, and leading up to the first game. And, if that's what they've done, that's up to them. I'm not having to go at them with regards to missing out for 3 games missing out games in the Challenge Cup. But you basically fight what's in front of you.
What's the standings? What's the stands? How many games have they played, Paddy?
49.
Let's
bring it up. They've played 49. 45
They've played 49, and we've played 50 plus 12. So we've played 60. We've played 62. So we've played 62 in an extra 4 weeks. So who's the excuse that they've had a lot of games jammed in is just doesn't carry any water.
Let's move on, gents. The highlights from that from Giants TV, and we'll move on to the game that took place on Sunday. Eventually took place on Sunday. What a day Sunday was. The game was due to face off at 4 p.m., but due to logistics, equipment not arriving, it faced off at 6:15. The Guildford Flames were in town and they were beat 5-0. Slater Doggett, Mark Cooper with a hat trick. 1 in the power play, 1 even-handed, 1 short-handed, and JJ Piccinich as well. And that's your 5 with regards to the stats. Tyler Beskorowany in goal, 20 shots against, and it was a shutout. Liam Hughes on the other side, 43 shots against, 5 goals against. Only 1 referee, Andy Dalton, as Matt Thompson had to fly home due to the late face-off. Simon, delays. There was, I assume, great credit to Taff and the guys in the ops. There was quite a bit of a scramble to get this game going.
Yeah, so without going into massive detail, the team arrived on their flight on time. I think there was only 5 or 6 bags that arrived with them. I know Taff's sitting in my living room tonight watching the Champions League because I forgot all about the podcast tonight. So I'm here anyway. But we were going to sit and watch the Liverpool match. But the kits, there's 5 or 6 kits arrived with the gear or with the players at whatever time they come in at. I got the arena at about 1:45, and we were told that there could be a delay in face-off. There's another flight due in. We're waiting to show them we're going to be bags on. The next flight arrived in at 2:35. There was a message put out saying that the game would be delayed to a minimum of 5 o'clock. Columns did their best to get it out there. In situations like this, and yes, it was a lovely day in Belfast, and that definitely helped. If it had been a normal, gloomy, rainy day, then it would have been a real issue. But it was a great day in Belfast, and the weather was magic, and people who had arrived at the arena still at the 3 o'clock for doors, which it's been pushed back till 4. It was one of those ones where you just have to play it by ear. But the guys on the ops team, they were back and forth with Steve, who was in Germany. You've got Mike Hicks on the phone. You've got BA, City Airport. Obviously, Guildford were back down at the airport. The Guildford players went to the hotel. Our players had been sent home, and then they arrived back in at 3 o'clock with the face-off starting at 5. So the whole day, there was a lot of issues with. There was never going to be the best scenario coming out of it because of everything. You take all those weak points into consideration. But David Lamont, Adrian Doyle, James Glover, all those guys, and Stephen all on the phone, they just basically kept on communicating and get the right decision. And see, to be very, very honest, the game was cancelled. We were told it was cancelled. And then James had left the office to go and tell Adam that it was being cancelled. And between him leaving the office and walking around to telling Adam, he got a phone call from Steve going, the bags are here. There's 7 more bags arrived. They basically ended up getting 14 players' bags. 14 players played. They didn't have any sticks. Taff left the arena to go to McDonald, where we've some old sticks. We're all sponsored by Warrior now. So we had to use the Warrior sticks, and there was some other sticks left up at the arena, at Dundonald, sorry. So Taff left to go and get the sticks. The goalie arrived. He didn't have his own blocker, didn't have his own glove. The Guildford Flames wanted to play. And that takes massive plaudits because they didn't have their own sticks. And, it can be really difficult playing with a different stick that you're not used to. It really genuinely can. So massive plaudits to Guildford. Huge plaudits to the SSE Arena staff and the ops team because they made the right decision. They gave as much time as possible. Yes, there was a few fans complaining. They're always going to get that. You were never going to get out of it with, nobody complaining about it. But the game got going. Yes, it was a couple of hours late, but you got hockey on the night, and that was the most important thing. So massively involved with regards to getting the thing up and running because it was not an easy decision to just keep on holding off. But it was out of our hands. We had to wait to see how far it would come with regards to BA or Lingus. There's the next flight in because, there's 2 flights coming from Heathrow, 2 companies coming from Heathrow. It was a nightmare at one point, literally just trying to get phone calls upon phone calls and messages coming in. But they got there.
We got there in the end.
We got
the game. And then ultimately, Davey, the game itself wasn't really much to write home about. It was a bit of a one-way affair. I think Guildford put a good effort in in the first period, but after that, the Giants just took control.
Yeah, I think they knew. Oh, go ahead.
Sorry, Davey. No, you knock yourself out. Go ahead.
No, it's just because he asked me the question. Sorry.
I did say David, but it's okay.
It was one of those. It was always going to be difficult to see what was going to happen. We were going to have to try and get it Hughes early. And this nice goal that you see, I don't know whether it's going to play out. Slater Doggett going round the back after a bit of confusion in front. And Darcy Murphy goes back in front, does the Mark Cooper job, takes the eyes of the goalie, and will come up with a goal. And Simon, I'll tell you, even with his croaky voice at that stage, once the dam was broken there, that game was kind of over. And they credit to Guildford in the first period there. They put a little bit of pressure on us at time. Tyler Beskorani came up with a couple of great saves during the game. But once we got 2-3 in that second period, it was really game over, and we were able to take our foot off the gas a little bit in the third. But I think we wanted to keep going and trying to get Coops that third that he so wanted. He's deserved it for all his hard work there. But it was, as Simon has said, a really difficult day that so many people put so much in to get a game. Nobody wanted to try and reschedule this game in the next 2 weeks, because that's when it was going to have to be played. And no one would have wanted them to be flying back over to Belfast, and it beggars belief that 14 hockey bags can go missing between check-in and on an airplane. Nobody noticed them all sitting in a big pile somewhere and go, should they not be somewhere else? But I suppose when you're dealing with airports the size of Heathrow, things like that can happen very easily. I'm sure there's more than that lost on a daily basis in Heathrow. But as far as Simon will come on and give his tuppence worth in the game, 2 points is the big positive out of that game. It wasn't much of a game of hockey, and I'm sure the boys were relieved just to get that out and get back in their own beds at the end of the night.
Simon?
I want to reach back. Taff had just come in there with some breaking news. I don't know if you've seen it yet. Malcolm Cameron's got another contract for next year.
Yes, I've got that.
Sorry,
That's very good. I think that just if I can comment as well, a little bit of continuity for the clan has to be welcome, because they've spun that revolving door so many times.
I've got that in the news, boys. What do you think?
Okay.
Sorry.
Sorry,
I thought it was breaking news.
Sorry, that's right. It's not as if it's live.
Breaking news. Jason Half-Ellery bangs the door to break the news.
Breaking news 3 hours ago, obviously. But anyway, so what game's this? Guildford? Sorry.
Guildford.
Aye. Yeah, what did you think?
In that first goal, it did break the back off from Davy, to be honest. And you'd Spencer Trapp, the defenseman, playing forward. They were missing Waters. They were missing McNulty, two of their top point scorers. Their gear didn't arrive. I think they were missing Mac Hollowell as well. So, there was a few guys who didn't get a chance to play. They were short benched. I thought they put up a valiant effort. I really did. But it goes back to what Davey said a few minutes ago when we were analysing the first game. We're playing well at the minute. It's going to take a good team to beat us. And we're playing really, really solid. So great to get the 2 points. That's the most important thing about that game on Sunday.
Yeah.
And that's there's not much where you
one more thing I want to add. Sorry, David. One more thing I want to add, because we've got somebody waiting in the wings just to join us. Is that it was lovely to see Blakey back at the SSE Arena. What was really nice, especially watching the webcast, was when you heard it was announced in the arena. I think we were there was a face-off just to the left of Tyler Beskorany's goal, and the camera was focusing on the face-off, and you heard the announcement being made, and you saw everybody in the circle and Beskorany stick taps. Everybody is aware. Everybody was, giving it all for wee Blakey back in the SSE Arena. Great to have him back after 2 years now. 2 years. 2 years. Great to have him back in the arena. Welcome back.
He's looking so well, Paddy. He's looking. Good. He's got so much bigger. I was going to say I'd hardly recognise him, but that's a spoof. When he came in, the only person that knew he was coming was Laura Small. She didn't tell anybody else.
That's nice.
Nobody else. So he arrived at the back door. I'm standing with Taff at the entrance to the just in towards the tunnel, and Laura opens the door and then comes a wheelchair, and you're sitting going, we're all in shock, genuinely all in shock. So fantastic to have him back. Great to, everybody's missed him so much. All the new boys have never seen him before. All the guys that come in this year have never met him before, and then you've got the likes of Longer and Hookie, Goody, Darcy Murphy. You've got all those boys who have met him before, so it was absolutely brilliant to have him back in the arena, and long overdue. And Christine, because Christine's been over there with him for 7 or 7.5 months as well, so brilliant to have him back in the arena.
Here. Highlights in that game, of course, from Belfast Giants TV. Get that on YouTube, and we move on. We're actually going to take a step back to the game that took place before, and just before the game against the Glasgow Clan. It was the retirement of the number 19 shirt, and who else are we going to have on but the owner of that now retired number 19 shirt's the all-time top point and goal scorer for your Belfast Giants, Mr. Colin Shields. How are you doing?
Yeah, great. Thanks for having me on, guys.
Yeah. Well, welcome. Congratulations. Well, how was Friday night for you?
Yeah, it was really good. Kind of didn't really know what to expect. It's not something you prepare for or really know going in, but it was a great reception by everybody, and managed to get a lot of family and friends there. So that was nice too. And yeah, seemed to have managed to get through the speech without too many fumbles. So it was a good night. Fun by everybody.
Before we get stuck in properly and have a conversation, there was a video prepared, and of course your name is now the 7th. Your number is now the 7th number to go up onto the bridge as retirement. So Davey sent us over. Here's a few words from the others.
Congratulations, Collins, to a well-deserved honor. Having your number raised to the rafters in a building where you brought so much excitement and pride to your teammates, your friends, your family, the city of Belfast, and the fans. Congratulations. All the best in the future. Proud to call you a friend and a giant. Once a giant, always a giant. Good luck in the future, Paxton.
Congratulations on having your jersey retired in Belfast. It's a great honor, and no one is more deserving than you. You've done so much for that community on and off the ice over the years, and you continue to contribute to that community today. Belfast is very lucky to have you, and we're all super proud of you and what you've accomplished. It always reminds me of the first time I played with you was back in 2004 in the World Championships in Norway. It's the first time I really got a chance to be on the ice with you. You were like 11 years old. I was 45, something like that. Near death, by the way. And you were amazing. And I got a chance to see the future of British ice hockey. So you've done an amazing job, and you've brought ice hockey in Northern Ireland to a new level that has never been achieved before. And everybody is super proud of you. Thank you so much for doing that. Thank you so much for being you. We're excited to see your jersey in the rafters. All the best to you and all the best to everyone in Belfast. I miss everybody. Take care.
Hey Shieldsy, congratulations on getting your number 19 jersey retired. It's about time. Everything you've done for the Belfast Giants organization is absolutely tremendous. You've lifted trophies, you've captained them to titles. You should be really proud of the career you've had, and it's a big deal to get your jersey retired by such a great organization. Welcome to the club.
Congratulations, Sheds, on a great career with the Giants. It's great to see that your number is retired with the rest of the boys. Looking forward to seeing it getting raised into the rafters.
Congratulations, Colin. I know how much hard work you've put in over the years and how much the Belfast Giants means to you and how much you mean to the Belfast Giants fans. Have a great time tonight and welcome to the club.
Sheds, just want to send you a short message to say congratulations, bud. What an honour it is to have your shirt retired by the Belfast Giants. It's thoroughly deserved for the years of your service. You've been a great captain, great teammate, but most of all, a great friend over the years. I hope you and your family have a brilliant night and you really enjoy it. So, once again, mate, congratulations. I'll see you there.
For many, a jersey retirement is regarded as the greatest honour an organisation can bestow on a player. And from this day onwards, no other player will wear the number 19 jersey for the Belfast Giants. Turn your attention to the bridge.
Of course, last but not least, I think something that is hard to describe too, what makes playing in Belfast special, it's about the fans and the community. I mean, without the support here, I saw a quote that an ex-general manager said about the fans here and how special it is and what the team means to the community. And that's what makes playing here so special, is the commitment and the passion for the fans. And whether it's a kid whose first Giants game, or whether it's, die-hard fans up in the corner there who are great support to me in BC, or it's season ticket holders, whoever it is, that's what it makes important to be a Giant. And it's special for the fans, watching the on-ice product or watching the players, but it's also special to us players. And for that, I'll ever be thank you. So thank you very much.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's hear it one more time for your number 19. Colin Shields.
Well, yes, goosebumps there watching some of that. Must give you really some great memories there.
Yeah, apart from watching myself, thanks for putting that part back in there. Yeah, that was the worst part, having to speak in front of. No, it was an honor to be able to speak in front of everybody, and I was glad I just managed to not mess it up too much. But it's hard to, the guys are waiting there for the game, and you don't want to be rambling on a bunch of nonsense just about yourself or your career. And so I appreciate the players waiting and everyone, getting there early to watch that. And, that was a massive honor, and it was a nice presentation before. But yeah, those videos were great from the other guys. All those guys are, well-deserved to have their numbers retired also. And good friends with a lot of those guys. And Wardy was talking there, but they, met him on a number of occasions, and Paxton the same. But definitely a unique club and something I'm very proud of.
Is it me? Sorry. I'll go now. No, you're right about when you started talking. The boys need another 20-minute warm up. Nobody else seen that at home after that. But the one thing that really that I took from it when I went in at the end of the second period to see you, and everybody was there. All the boys that you played with. Mark Morrison, Jason Bowen, Gareth Martin, obviously Darian Walton, Toy. Everybody was there. It was great to see him as well, and keeping up with some of the boys that you played with. And obviously watching the boys get a 5-1 victory over Glasgow, it's always a bonus as well.
Yeah, it was great. I mean, it was really nice. You guys, as you say, the guys that played with that live here were able to come to the game and share that with them. And some of those guys that played with for a long time, Murph and Bosie was, maybe only the 1 year, but really good friends with those guys and kept in close contact over the years. And we were just talking, we should try and do more for the guys that live here and try and create a little bit more of an alumni or something with events, to get the guys that, not only the guys that live here, but the guys from in the UK or from other places to try and create a little bit more of, continuity or sort of a community between the ex-players.
One of the things is, like, obviously you had that video there done by Neil Whiteside and some fantastic, some fantastic goals and great memories. The one that really stuck out for me and what I always enjoy seeing, it's that pass from Ben O'Connor. It's the pass from Ben O'Connor. Have you ever mentioned it to him?
It's funny, like it never really came up. I think we played a couple World Championships after that. I don't think it ever came up. I mean, after he just said, like, "Oh, you're welcome for that freebie" or something in the handshake. But it was funny because a couple of goals after that, when I shelved one against Sheffield, and it was Wiss that was in net. So I just looked over at Wiss. He just like shook his head in the line when he's standing there. But that goal with Ben always seems to come up. But yeah, I don't too much.
And just quickly for me as well is that obviously you're tired now. You've got your golf career, you got your business going, but you're obviously looking at the Belfast Giants as they are now, on the cusp of a battle with the Sheffield Steelers. When it comes into a big week, and it's a big weekend for the Belfast Giants this weekend against the Steelers, if you were in this team, how are you preparing for this game? What's your mentality?
Yeah, I mean, all the games are massive, I think, especially when you're playing a 54-game regular season for a title. But once it gets down to the crunch, you're just trying to try to take care of your body as much as possible. Stick to the same routine you would normally do as far as practice and games. And I'm sure the practices will be intense, but they won't be too long right now. You're just trying to maybe keep the guys sharp and get them on the ice. And if any guys do have niggles or anything like that, you're just trying to make sure you're not making it worse at this point. But as I say, the guys have had a great season this so far this year. They should be proud of, and they seem to be on great form. So be sure to be confident going into this weekend.
Sheds, I want to give you a wee opportunity to talk about two very special people to you. A lot of players, as we interview them over the years, talk about their early days in the game and the people that ran them about, and it always comes back to mum and dad. And you talked about Martin being a coach and mum taking you 10-pin bowling and ending up ice skating all those years ago. But as you said the other day, they love you that much. They've moved over to Northern Ireland to be closer to you. But you must have a special mention for Martin and Margaret.
No, I mean, I've talked about that before. They, they supported me the whole time growing up, and although it seems like they shipped me off to Canada, they knew that hockey was my passion, and to give me the best opportunity to try and achieve my ultimate goal and play in the NHL, I had to go over to Canada at an early age, and they supported that. And even when I came back as a teenager, they always made sure that I had everything I needed, both on and off the ice, to give me the best opportunity. And my parents are moving over here, and I don't think that's just for me. I think they just like it better here. Payback will be coming because they got a lot of work they need done at their new house. So I'll have to be chipping in on that one too.
Just before Simon comes in with his, somebody, Chris Lovell's just came in with a good question there. I know you've said that you're happily retired and you're enjoying your golf and you're enjoying TPF. Do you miss these big games? Do you miss these moments, these weeks, these couple of weeks to win championships?
Yeah, I mean, that's what you play for. And that's the luxury, or not luxury, the privilege, I guess, of playing for the Giants this year. Every year you're in the hunt for trophies and to win games and win championships. And if you weren't, I guess you're kind of just going through the motions. So it seemed like we were always in the hunt for trophies. We're always in finals. And, we probably, looking back, probably lost more than we won. But it's always those winning moments that you remember. And as I said, guys have done a great job to give themselves the best opportunity now going into the last 2 weeks.
Sheds, I don't know if I'm sure David will probably wrap it up because he's good with words, although he's not very good at Scrabble. I just want to say that you've passed us. You've been on with AVFTB on numerous occasions throughout the years. You've done, for everybody at Belfast Giants fans, you've been absolutely outstanding, and it's a pity that you had to wrap the skates up because I think you could still put a few more pucks in the onion bag. But thank you very much from every Belfast Giant fan out there. I think it's been a roller coaster the whole way through picking up. I mean, that trophy as a captain back in the playoff final in 2010 was the last time we won that. It's far, far, far too long ago. So hopefully we can get one again this year. But from all the Belfast Giants fans, I'd like to say thank you.
No, I appreciate it. I'm not leaving anywhere yet. I'll still hopefully but I appreciate that. And you guys have always been great to me for the most part. But
you know what? I bumped into, I was out taxiing on Saturday night. I bumped into Simon Parr from Lockton.
Yeah. I can't tell a story from the golf trip here.
Yeah, you can. Go ahead.
Well,
hold on. Camel Potty.
It's live. Is it tellable?
Golf ball left the golf course. Let's just say that it didn't hit a person, but that's all I'm saying. So
he was very, very complimentary about you, and your. I seen the massive bit of cheesecake that you're eating the last time you went to Mercy. I think it was for actually that can't be Colin Shields eating that. That's like something I would eat. But he showed me photographs of it, and the prof got the proof. But yeah, he was asking about you as well.
No, he's a great guy, and I really appreciate it, guys. And it's always nice to be on the show with you guys and talk hockey. And didn't make it as many games this year as I probably wanted to with COVID and stuff in the gym, and just things been touch and go there for a while. But I'll be watching the weekend, and hopefully the last couple of weekends. As you say, hopefully they can get a good showing and take care of business. And then, as you say, going into the final weekend of playoffs, that'd be exciting too.
Brilliant. Well, listen, mate, thank you very much for your time. Congratulations on the retirement of the number 19 jersey. Very well deserved. We're pleased to see it up there. And stay well, and good luck with the golf.
I'll need it. Thanks, guys.
Thanks, mate. Big thanks to Colin Shields. Delighted to have him on. And yeah, what a good night that was to see that number 19 retired. Right. We do have JJ Piccinich waiting in the wings. Get your questions ready for him. Before that, it's a big week. A big few weeks of Elite League hockey, not least on Premier Sports. And I had a chance earlier on to chat with a good friend, Mr. Aaron Murphy. Mr. Murphy, how are you?
I'm good, Paddy. How are you? I think the last time we were together was a little matter of the Challenge Cup, and what a night that was in Belfast. Good to see you.
I remember our discussion well. Let's just leave it there.
It was a great night. What a night. 7,500 people, and to win a trophy at home is so difficult, right? So, I mean, it just all came together for Giants fans.
It did, and a lot of us had a very, very enjoyable evening. It was, and it could be another one for the Belfast Giants, but I'll say that with a touch wood. And hot on the heels of that Challenge Cup final, you guys, not just in regards to the Premier Sports Elite League, but the Premier Sports TV coverage, you guys are in for a hell of a month ahead.
Yeah, it's busy times. I mean, we've been on calls and meetings the last few days, and everyone wants to ask me about the permutations and the math, and I just send them the link to the Elite League website about all the scenarios because, I mean, it is what it is. Keep winning if you're a Giants fan, right? I mean, it could be a very, very incredible weekend in Sheffield. There's part of me hoping that it ends next week, next Friday in Belfast, so we can be there for that as well. But if you look at the way it breaks down, and if you're a Giants fan, it's certainly going to be a massive weekend. And obviously Sunday, the game in Sheffield is on Premier Sports. So if that's the one, we'll be there for it as well.
It's interesting the way that this has fallen as well. You look at the way the title run-ins come in. It has come down to these two horses in the final throes of this race, and they play 3 games. In Jan's case, 3 games back to back to back.
It's pretty incredible, and it's funny because you and I go, that's a no-brainer that we cover those games, and to most people, I saw something on social media. I don't look very often, but I thought it was so funny the other day. Someone said, it's all Steelers all the time. All Steelers and all Giants all the time is what I saw, and I'm kind of like, well, the Elite League title, the league title, is not my fault that that's bigger than the playoffs or whatever, so we shouldn't show Sheffield versus Belfast twice to try and capture the league title. We should show something. So it just goes to show you, even when you think you've got this great run-in and you've got it covered and you're going to capture that league title, you're still upsetting somewhere. And by the grace of God, you sometimes wonder, social media, is it good or is it bad? But when you see someone going, it's just all Giants and all Steelers the last few weeks. Well, yeah, those are the 2 teams trying to win the Stanley Cup of the Elite League, right?
And what do you think it's been between these 2 teams, Aaron Fox's and Adam Keefe's sides, that has led us to this point where it is between these 2 sides?
Well, usually you'd go, it's health, but both teams have had some problems, especially the Steelers right now with some injury woes down the stretch. But I think it comes down to goaltending and special teams. And certainly both teams with a potent first line and first lines that are stepping up and producing. I mean, Valoran's had some injury problems, but now that he's back, he's going to be one of those guys they lean on. But I think Rock Stojanovic has probably played a bigger role than they thought. They thought Barry Brust would be the guy, and he's had some injury problems and whatnot. So, I mean, Beskar Owani, 30 wins, 6 shutouts. I mean, so that's what he was brought in to do, to put up those kind of numbers. I know JJ Piccinich has been a fan favorite for good reason, the whole line with Conway. I just think right now you guys are definitely the healthier team at the top 2 or 3. So a bit of that, but I think special teams so important. Clutch goals, big goaltending, and I certainly think you've got to give it to a little bit. It comes down to coaching. I mean, Aaron Fox and Adam Keefe are 2 of the best coaches in the league at this point, and they've got their team going. And I think at the start of the year, we kind of thought, looking at the rosters, that these would be the final 2 teams sort of in that race. Whether or not we thought it would still be coming down this fine a margin, or this close, that many few games left. But I think at the start of the year, that's why some of these games were penciled in, is that we thought that's what could happen.
You mentioned his name there, and he's on our show this week as well, JJ Piccinich, who, of course, tasted success with, hasten to say, your own Newfoundland Growlers. So,
yeah, big fan of the Growlers. So
and now he's absolutely phenomenal. He's in a bit of a goals and points battle with his line mate in Scott Conway, but Piccinich has been shown to be more than capable at this level.
Yeah, I mean, he's leading the league and everything right now, isn't he? 33 goals, 43 assists, 76 points. The funny thing about that is I don't think he or Conway will care who wins any sort of individual accolades. If they win the league title, they'll just be going, wow, what a line, and sign me up. I'll come back and play on that line kind of feeling. What I like about him is he never gives up on a puck. 50-50 battles seem to be something that he always comes away with the puck. He has a real knack for ghosting in for chances where you think, we got to keep an eye on Conway. Oh, well, now Piccinich. Now we got to keep an eye on Piccinich and Conway. So I think it's really good. It's one of those things. It's like the Matthews-Marner's debate. You can't break up that top line now if you're Adam Keefe's brother, Sheldon Keefe, and certainly Keefe in Belfast, he can't break up that top line because it's almost been too much to handle for anyone the last month. And it looked like at one point the guy in Cardiff, Brodie Reid, was going to run away with the goal scoring title. Well, I mean, JJ's caught him out and surpassed him. I mean, and I believe Piccinich has a bunch of shorthanded goals as well. So it's one of those scenarios where this guy, no matter what scenario he's in, has been that guy for the Giants. And it's funny, right? It's about recruitment and about coaching. You just said to me why those two teams. Well, when you bring a guy in like JJ Piccinich, you expect him to put up big numbers. You hope he will be up there in the top of those charts, and there he is. But then you look at teams down towards the lower part of the table, they've brought guys in that maybe haven't performed and maybe didn't even make it till Christmas. And so it's about smart recruitment, good Rolodex, bringing in guys, doing your due diligence, knowing a guy is good in the dressing room. Because there's been plenty of guys in this league who come out and lead their team in scoring, but no one even wants to be around them in the dressing room. So I think Adam Keefe has got that fine balance, and maybe Aaron Fox before some of the injury woes. I mean, they've had to bring in some guys from the Czech Republic, but they had a good dressing room as well by all accounts. And so that's why those are the top two teams. Good recruiting, good coaching, and certainly getting the results from the likes of Valorant on the side of the Orange guys and Piccinich on the side of the guys in teal.
As I said earlier, on the back of that Challenge Cup coverage in front of a full bowl at the SSE Arena, you'll be back next week for. And I've just seen as well that they're selling tickets in the East Tier, so hopefully a full bowl there again. But over the next week, or the next couple of weeks, it's a hell of a lot of coverage from you, Paul, Kilvin, and Chris. So what can we expect from Premier Sports?
Yeah, we've got that all-important storm in Sheffield. So Sheffield really needs to win that game Wednesday night, and then we switch focus to this Sunday. You guys will be in town on the back of the Saturday. So we were watching intently on the Saturday night to see if Sunday sets us up for a league title. Depending on what happens this weekend, we're in Belfast next Friday for what could be the final game, 15th, and that will be again SSE Arena, hopefully full. And I love that, right? Because we've over the years heard that TV comes and our gate goes down. It's interesting how the top teams have no problem selling tickets, whether it's on TV or not. So I think one of the highlights of the season for me was 7,500 blowing our eardrums for the Challenge Cup, and I look forward to it. I know you guys would like it wrapped up as soon as possible. If it is to be wrapped up, I'm sure the Steelers fans are still waiting on some mathematics and some hope. But I mean, look, both teams just know they have to win out. There's certainly some math involved for Sheffield, but my hope is that it comes down to Friday night on Premier Sports, winner take all. That might be stressful for anyone wearing teal or orange, but for me as a broadcaster and a moderate, I think that would be great for the league on a Friday night to have 7,500 baying for blood on one side and hoping for a road win on the other side. So let's hope that out of these three games we have coming up, it will be all good, games down to the wire. And then, of course, we've got the playoff quarterfinal action. We've got both semifinals live and exclusive, and we've got the final, the grand final. So if you haven't subscribed to Premier Sports and you don't think you're going to make it to Nottingham for the playoffs, make sure you go to premiersports.com. There'll be no webcast. There'll be no extended YouTube coverage. It's all on Premier Sports, the semifinals and the final from Nottingham, and it's going to be some kind of weekend.
We're in for a hell of a few weeks, mate. Listen, thanks again for joining us, and good luck over the next couple of weeks. And no doubt you'll be knackered by the end of it, but it'll be worth it all.
Look, and the Elite League season will wind down, and then we'll get to see many of those guys like Scott Conway head off to Helsinki, hopefully, and we'll be there for the coverage as well for Team GB. So one season ends and another tournament begins, and that's the great thing right now. This is the best time of year to be a hockey fan, and the last time I saw you, you were holding a trophy. We were having a chat with Robert Fitzpatrick, so who knows, maybe on a Friday night at the SSE Arena, history will repeat itself. But either way, I hope to catch up with you soon, and should be a great finish for the Giants.
Thanks, mate. Big thanks as always to Aaron Murphy. Sid seems to have dropped out. Hopefully he'll come back and join us very shortly, because we're going to move on, and we're going to start with we're going to move on to the fan agenda brought to you by our good friends at Belfast Giants TV. Now, you've just heard us, myself and Mr. Murphy talking about him. He is the leading point scorer for the Belfast Giants. He is the leading point scorer for the Elite League, the leading goal scorer for the Elite League, the leading assists for the Elite League. It is the one, the only, JJ Piccinich. How are you?
How are we doing, guys? How's it going?
Good, mate. Good. How are you?
I'm great. What an intro. That was a very kind intro.
Well, statistics are statistics. Oh, no, spit them all out. Statistics are statistics. And as I said in that interview with Aaron Murphy, there's a bit of a battle going on between you and Scott Conway as to who is going to be that top point scorer and top goal scorer.
Yeah, I guess so. I don't think either of us really care either. I think it's pretty much just a testament to the guy, whoever doesn't win the title, I guess. And I don't really think we got bigger things. I think we got bigger things at hand right now. So
that's very
I guess
true.
It's a friendly competition anyways, but definitely bigger competitions ahead this weekend. So.
Well, that's it. How do you feel? Let's look back at the last few games and maybe go back as far as the Challenge Cup final. Obviously, a great night in the SSE Arena, but there is a focus now that's turned to the next prize.
Yeah, and I mean, arguably the most important one, depending on who you ask. So we would definitely love to get the SSE rocking in that sense again. Following this upcoming weekend with Sheffield and Coventry, but. This is kind of for all the marbles here, and I think there's definitely that sense in the room right now that this is the big one. So it feels good. Just listening to the interview you had on before, kind of just got my blood flowing. So it's exciting for the players as well.
JJ, we had Bush on a few weeks ago, and he talked about the dog days, the difficult days between sort of Christmas and just before you go into the stretch. And we've came through that with a really positive run of results. We've picked the Challenge Cup up. Big focus now, as you say, we're playing for all the marbles next 2 weekends. What's the prep going like?
I mean, to be honest, it's more of the same. Like, it's kind of just been staying the course. Unfortunately, that maybe is a bit of a boring answer, but I think it's probably the most important thing to be able to just keep doing the things that we've been doing. And obviously, we're looking forward to a great week of practice, and that's going to lead into our travel day to Sheffield, and obviously our 2 games there. So I think it's just going to be the consistency of having a good practice week and just doing more of the same and making sure, guys are taking care of their bodies, which they will. And, making sure we're just, mentally prepared as well.
JJ, you obviously missed the game against Nottingham a couple of weeks ago, and unfortunately you had to listen to me on Giants TV. Is that what pushed you to come back the next night? Because I know you weren't feeling very well that night.
I couldn't stand it. No, Kitch, you're great. You're great. I'll pump your tires all day, Kitch. You're great.
That's not what you're here for, mate. That's not what you're here for. We don't want to hear that.
That game against the Panthers, again, we're on a really good run of form, and they came in, they were ready to go that night,
Yeah.
and obviously losing out on that was the first game you've missed this season, and I think the boys will probably agree with me. We looked a little bit flat, but coming back into the lineup the next night, we've kept it rolling. It's all about the momentum, because this weekend is absolutely huge.
Yeah, and I thought we did a great job responding to Friday night on Saturday. I thought we were just had a little bit of extra hop in our step, and I think we were just a little more consistent. And I think on Friday, just from watching it, we go up 2-0, and sometimes that could be a curse a little bit. And sometimes you really just got to bear down the rest of the game, and it's a 60-minute game. And, we've learned a couple lessons, recently, especially with that game in Manchester, which we would all love to just forget about. But, let's draw from it when we need to and learn from it when we need to. So, that kind of bit us there going up 2-0 versus Nottingham. But again, I think the more important thing was the way we responded. And again, we're still in a great position to, win this league. So, I mean, we got to just be happy with the result.
And where we are right now, heading into this weekend, I'm lucky enough where I get to see the boys practice, and it's all buoyant. Everybody's in a good mood, but winning breeds success, and the success is what you're looking for, because you've got the one on your. The boys have already mentioned you've already got the one trophy. Your career has been built on success, and there's another 2 up for grabs.
Yeah, well, I mean, I think with the group that we have, I think this is a pretty special group, honestly. And I mean, one's not good enough. Like that's just like how we are. Like one's not good enough, and it's hard. It's hard to win. It's hard to win anything, but we're just too good of a group, and we know it. And we've definitely built that swagger, and it is a swagger. It's a confidence, and again, it's just we're selfish in that sense as a team, and it's a pretty contagious attitude as well around the room, and we're excited. Last time we were in Sheffield, it was a long time ago, and we got embarrassed like 7-1, whatever it was, and we want we owe them, so we didn't forget about that one. So again, we're just a rolling group right now, and we just want to keep it going.
Interesting. Before we go we got some questions coming in from guys watching in live, and before we do that, how much because that game against Sheffield was quite a while ago, that bad one. How much does that sort of sit on your mind or sit on the guys' minds when you think, right, we're going back in there?
Yeah, well, I'll say that I think X's and O's wise is pretty much irrelevant. I think. I mean, systematically, we're just completely evolved, and we're probably not going to look at any video in terms of what happened during that game. That was so long ago, 2 different teams completely. But like you said, I think it is in the, it's kind of on the front of your mind where it's like, like we got embarrassed here a while ago. Let's give it back to them. And, that'll be our first time back. So that will definitely bring back some emotion from, what transpired the first time.
Let's go to a question here from Alan Brett, who says, JJ, who do you feel has been the biggest influence in your game? And is there any particular player you've modeled your game on?
My biggest influence? I really like watching Ryan Callahan growing up. I thought he was someone who just really just worked hard, and through his hard work, he was able to just, be a smart hockey player. He worked smart and hard, and I always loved watching him play. And if there's a non-hockey player I could say influenced me, it would definitely be my old man, my dad, because he's obviously you always go to the parents when they're driving you around and in the mornings, and when you're a little kid and you have a bad game or something, they're there to kind of whip you into shape. And I definitely have him to thank for learning a lot of lessons, but definitely in terms of the on ice, I think Ryan Callahan was definitely someone I modeled my game after.
Neil McLean, so I said, do you have any rituals or superstitions before the game?
Not quite. I think, let's see. Or you know what I do? I always put my stick like upside down in the corner right next to like where the glove dryer is. So, like my stick is always in the same spot. I guess that's probably my main one. And I think maybe Keith will be upset that I'm disclosing this, but I always have at least a cookie or 2 before the game.
Well, we've already established the Portuguese tarts that go to Tyler Beskorowany before the game, so I think that's fair enough.
I never said that.
One on Twitter, it's come in from Neil saying, "How was the Cardiff hat trick your fastest?"
Oh, definitely. That was crazy. That was definitely the fastest. That was just like so. I want to say lucky because it was just like one good bounce after another. Yeah, definitely easily like by a mile, my closest hat trick.
What's the sort of mentality there? You think, is it just a case of wow, how has that happened, or is it just when you're
why does it keep coming to me? I don't know why. Why does it keep coming to me? I don't know why, but I'm just gonna try and make as good of a play as possible with it. So, and I was able to do that. Luckily. So, the thought is, why does it keep coming to me?
Yeah, keep your questions coming in. We'll do a few more before we let JJ go, Davey.
JJ, I guess right through your career, right from NCAA, right through juniors, you've had that little bit of gold dust. You've won everywhere you've gone, and you've came here to Belfast and won as well. What's the secret? I guess is the question. Is it just hard work? Obviously, a quality player as well, but you know you've came to a good club and you've found a nice balance with your line mates, and it's just working out brilliantly.
No, absolutely. I mean, it's always a giant. I mean, as you know, it's always a multivariable equation. But I think the biggest thing is it's just the guys, and it's the room. It's always the room, and we play for each other. And at the end of the day, you play for each other, and you play for yourself, and you play for yourself and each other, and the guys in the room, because you work so hard. You know, game 50 isn't going to feel like game 1, and everyone knows that, and everyone's going through that together. And when there's that cohesiveness, I think I would say that's my number one thing. I think it's always comes down to the guys in the room. Now, also on the teams I've been on, I've played, various different roles. And I think also on our team, we've had guys that maybe weren't expecting to play the role they are, and they're doing it to a T, despite, not realizing that maybe was the case. And I can't say enough good things about our room and how we've responded to basically, all the adversity.
If you can, I know this is a bit sycophantic to ask you to say something nice about the fans, but and it's easy when you're in a winning organization, and the room's probably always better in a team that's winning. And, we've seen what Simon says, we're very fortunate to be close to the team and see how good it is down there. How much fun has Belfast been as a city for you this season?
Oh, it's amazing. It's hard to know what to expect, I'm from the United States, and it's my first time playing overseas, first time ever being in, the UK and Northern Ireland. And I just was so taken back by everything and just the culture. And it's definitely a bit of a learning curve in a fun way. Obviously, we've been downtown and seen the culture of the pubs, and we got Tapper in the building. I love it. I absolutely love it. I was already bothering him with messages today about stuff. He's probably ready to kill me, but no. I just thought, Northern Ireland is amazing, and obviously it's treated me pretty well, and I'm trying to treat it well back. So definitely looking forward to this weekend in regards to that, because obviously the fans are is always what makes it, and we want to give them all the hardware. So yeah.
I want to take it back to the first bit of hardware. I know, because we don't want to keep you all night because we've got to practice tomorrow morning, but talk us through the in between the second and third period of the Cardiff game for the final, and then your move, because it's just, you seem to be doing it quite a lot, and I don't want to give your secrets away, coming around behind that net, and you've always got either Collins or Goody sitting right in the slot waiting for it, and nobody ever picks them up. You put it on a plate. I could have scored that one from Goody, in fairness, but coming around behind that net and putting on a plate for Goody to tie things up after Cardiff going 2-0 up.
Yeah, I think it was just a product of a one battle, like a 4-man battle. I think it was on the far wall, and then I just kind of gained a step on my check and was able to just threaten as I'm hooking the coming out of the corner with it. I was threatening to maybe just jam it on the short side. So that kind of I think that kind of froze the net front D. And then I just snuck around the net, and then somehow, I'm not sure how, but, Goody's just wide open. And it always seems to be the case with our line. Someone's always open, because I think Davey was saying it before. It's you cover one guy and, the next guy's open, or maybe it was Murph in that interview before, but, it was just you cover one guy, and then, then you forget about, Goody, or you cover Goody, you forget about Collins. And it's just this vicious cycle of who the hell are we going to cover? So, I think, that was kind of just the product of that play. Maybe I'm glad for the high praise, but I was kind of just looking around, and there's Goody, coming down, the lane. So I just there. So yeah.
Perfect. let's.
I'm going to jump in, Paddy, before you do, because I want to ask JJ just on a, you get lots of points from working hard as well, and like I know our second, third, and fourth lines work hard, but that first line of ours suffocates. Like, was it Guildford or it was Glasgow probably on Friday night? We were talking earlier in the game. There was 3-4 minutes where we got multiple line changes in the ozone. And just kept, and there was a goal coming. It just had to happen. We just were cycling down low and creating chance after chance. D-men picking the pucks off that they're trying to chip out, and we just work so hard as a team, like all right from the top line. But when it comes from the top, it's easier for the guys further down the depth chart to do it.
Yeah, I think that's probably. It's funny you say that. That was probably the prettiest sequence we've had all year. Like, that was just a picture perfect wave of an attack where it was like. There's absolutely nothing you could do. Like after the third minute, it's like what can you do? You can't. Your D can't change, and if they can, the pairing coming back on has just got off, and it's like it's gonna come, and it's a testament to our team. Like I think Cons ended up scoring. I think we scored backdoor. I think to end that sequence, but. I mean, it started like so far before, so it's a testament to that was a team goal by all means, and I mean a lot of our goals are all of our goals are team goals, and I think that was one of the nicest sequences we've had, so that was pretty awesome.
I think Taft's chirping you here.
Yeah, what's going on? I see kids smiling.
Oh. Night, lads.
Yeah.
Night, Taft.
Night, guys. Have a good night.
Hey, yeah. Enjoy the football.
Hey, Pick. How's Brian doing?
He's good. Brian's good.
Brian, okay.
I'm not going to explain it. Brian's a good friend of mine. They don't know about Brian.
Probably best not explain it.
Lock the door.
It's sillier than you think, but I'm gonna leave it anonymous.
I'll say nothing. I'm saying nothing.
Let's take a couple
anonymous.
As Simon says, you've got 3 in the morning, so we don't want to keep you too long. Let's get a couple of quick ones from the people sending them in. Kieran, what rink do you like playing at the most in the Elite League? I guess outside of our own.
Yeah, it's a good question.
Manchester.
No, definitely not. Definitely not Manchester. Probably. You know what? Actually, I think in terms like it's kind of like because. You know, you have a nice rink and then you want like a nice room as well. So it's kind of like the mixture between the nicest locker room and the nicest rink. So I might have a weird answer because of so actually Dundee.
All right.
It's Dundee because they have the nicest away room. You know, and actually Belfast has like an amazing away room. So I think anyone like if I couldn't pick like as someone playing in Belfast as an opponent, I would definitely say Belfast because we have an amazing away room. But I think for me it's Dundee because they have like the heated floors and they got the nice room and they got the accommodations. So I think I got to go with Dundee.
We'll cut this and send this to Omar Pasha.
Send us the Pash, yeah.
Yeah, we'll send this on to Pasha. Be delighted. Andrew McVeigh, the last one. How does it feel to be in a line that's put up 203 points so far this season and the team that have 111 goal difference? Davey McGimsey's going to correct those stats. Go on.
Numbers are wrong, boys, and I can't have wrong numbers. It's 262 points. Maybe 203 in the league, but he does say so far this season. So 262 points between you, Cons, and Goody. Unreal.
It feels amazing. It feels amazing. It feels fun. It's fun to be a part of, and it's hard to imagine, having a better year than what we're doing, and it's just a really good time out there because there's this cohesiveness, and there's something about it where it's just it makes it fun and easy.
Do you still talk to Mitch Marner? Have you told him you have more points than he has this season?
I keep in touch, but I definitely didn't mention that part of it.
But end of the season. Text him at the end of the season.
Let him know.
I'm
playing for the better, Keith. Normally at this point we would let you go, but just going to keep it on for one more minute because this has happened again. It's happened a few times, and it's happened again. Jazzy. It's happened again. We're going to go to the Player of the Month, the nominations for March's Player of the Month. And we're going to bring up they are number 2, Sam Rupp. Number 9, Ben Lake. Number 12, JJ Piccinich. And number 26, Mark Cooper. David, first of all, with you.
I
have my
well,
go on, JJ, then. Who's your pick?
My pick is number 9, Ben Lake. That is my pick.
Why?
Because I think he is one of the most. He's just a really foundational player. He works his tail off. He has great skill, great knack for the net, wins face-offs. I'm surprised he doesn't get as much cover. He deserves he deserves a lot of the attention as to why our team is doing well. And I really like his game. He works hard. He finishes hits. He's tough. He can score. He can pass. Honestly, he does the intangible things that, I don't coach, but if I was a coach, I want 25 Ben Lakes because seriously, because the way he plays is how you would want. I actually can't say enough good things about him. I'm going to laugh about this with him tomorrow because I'm telling him singing his tune on the podcast, but he's serious. That's my reasoning. What do you guys think about that?
To be fair, Kitchie has said all season, give me a team of Ben Lakes. And you'll come up with a trophy, and he scores a game-winning goal in the cup final. Obviously a lovely feed from Coops, who's also nominated. I threw a quick few numbers there, Paddy. Coops, 16, 11 plus 5 over the course of the month. JJ, 9 plus 12, 21 points, plus 12, the plus minus. Ben Lake, 5 plus 5, plus 9. And Big Rupper, 1 plus 4, but plus 12. It's outstanding. The good, and somebody that didn't even get a mention. Goody, 6 plus 16 and plus 11, 22 points across the course of the month and doesn't even get a mention in the voting.
Could have been. There's so many. We put this out to the nominations. Of course, there were so many people could have come in with it.
It's been, JJ talks about it, a good room. Across the course of a season when you're winning, it's easy to pick. And this has been hard every month to pick a player. But Ben Lake, game-winning goal in the cup final. He was the wild card at the end there tonight after the voting was closed. But I really, and it's not just because you're on, JJ. I want you to win this trophy this year. It's there's been months you've hit the bar. There's been months you haven't been in the voting and probably should have been. A bit like this month, Goody should probably be in the voting but isn't. So I'm throwing my electioneering skills behind JJ Piccinich this month.
Paddy.
Simon,
I got in first. Paddy.
Oh, you got it first with Ben Lake?
No, you. Who are you thinking?
Oh, me? Oh, I'm going for JJ Piccinich.
It's a bit nice.
I'm going for JJ Piccinich. I'm with JJ Piccinich on partially. Davey took my thunder there in regards to a similar basis. I think his name, first of all, deserves to be on this trophy at some point. I think that he's some of the goals he scored as he sits there looking at us. Some of the goals he scored this season has been absolutely phenomenal. Just picking out shots that are hitting tiny little postage stamps in the corner of the net. Some of the goals have been superb to watch. He's been, he's leading the league in points, leading the league in assists, leading the league in goals. The player of the month for me for March is JJ Piccinich. So.
Before you go, says I feel terrible because JJ Piccinich has had a great month. Ben Lake has scored the game-winning goal in the cup final. Big Rupper comes up with that goal in Manchester, of course, and he's brilliant in the plus minus. Mark Cooper has just been brilliant. He reverses that big arse into the blue paint and gets us so many goals. Like, how many goals has he got this season, or created just by being being the one guy? He's the one guy of that team that is always in front of the goaltender.
Sorry, says before you say it, just in response to that, I probably would have agreed. I probably would have said, of all due respect to JJ, I probably would have said Coops, but Coops' name's been on it.
Oh, yes, he's won it this year.
As I said, you all know I love Ben Lake. I think JJ already used all the adjectives for him. I think he's absolutely outstanding. I think he doesn't get the credit he deserves. But the best player for me this month, and I did it a couple of months ago when I fought your corner a couple of months ago when who was it?
Soisy won the Christmas one. Yeah,
I was battling for you, and I'm going to bat for you again this month, JJ, because I think you're the best player in the league, bar down, no baller, the best player in the league, and you deserve to be where you are with regards to the points. I mean, I'm pretty sure, I haven't looked at it today, but I'm pretty sure we've got the top 4 goal scorers or point scorers in the league in the top 5 now. Is that right?
Well, 94, 91, 77 are top three, so I don't know what.
I think Coops
Don't look at other teams, mate. No interest.
No, this is very, very true. But anybody could have won it this month. We've been absolutely.
I'll tell you what Coops has in a second here.
We've lost a couple
Look
of
up the
games.
brains
Coops, I'm pretty sure Coops is 57 points according to Elite League. But I know
don't
there's
worry
more.
about
I know they miss out some and they don't get their points because
Coops is 66. Coops is 66.
But for me, it's got to be JJ. I think he's been absolutely lights out. And there's not a lot of people don't know this. He hasn't been well for a couple of weeks. I mean, you went a week without hardly eating anything. But like myself, you didn't notice it in me. But you went nearly a week without eating anything after you were sick, and he still turned up and played. He got, came out that night against Nottingham, was absolutely lights out. Went out the following weekend, was brilliant. And then again at the weekend, it's different gravy.
I know JJ love in here on A View from the Bridge.
I know we'll have to let him go, but I want to throw one question. We did a bit of analysis on a goal the other week there. It was had to have been a set face-off play because I think
don't give him away, did we? Don't give him away.
We talked about it on the podcast and we broke it all down. I think when the guys are coming out, the away team had sort of overloaded one side of the ice, and you've gone to the races. You're from the blue line. You had the puck. What's the thought process when you're coming in 1-on-1 from 100 feet? Nobody's catching you from the halfway line. What's the thought? Are you waiting for the goalie to move?
Are you talking about the Coventry goal in the defensive zone face-off?
Yes.
Yeah.
So that was, we had another play drawn up, but last minute, right before Cons put his stick down to take the draw, he gave me the look.
Yeah.
He just looked over at me, and I saw that the D-man that I'm supposed to cover was way over to the other side.
Yep.
So he was just kind of like looking at like a giant piece of ice last second. This is why Cons is so good, because he's always like noticing little things on the ice, especially on draws. And I was like, all right, so we're not running the play everyone thinks we are. I'm just going to go full speed ahead. And what do you know? Put it right on my tape, right off the draw, like right in stride on my tape, like actually phenomenal assists. And then, I mean, to your question, that was, the D was so far over that I don't think they really could catch me because they had their own play. I think they maybe they went a little too far over to the other side, and I was able to just kind of gain a step on them, and I think I just shot on the ice 5-hole, and it trickled in, and I think that was an awesome play by Cons. That was probably one of my favorite goals I've had with him, because he really Tom. I mean, this is an American football reference, but he was Tom Brady. He was Tom Brady in there. So that's an American football reference.
Brilliant. Well, listen, mate, we're going to let you go because obviously, big weekend ahead against the Sheffield Steelers in South Yorkshire, and good luck for that. Thank you very much to everybody who sent in questions, and thank you very much to JJ Piccinich.
Guys, thank you so much for having me. Appreciate it.
Cheers, JJ.
Catch you again soon. Big thank you to JJ Piccinich. Really pleased he stayed on so long and joined us for that chat. Really speaks really well, and very enjoyable chat it was. Yep, those 4 nominees for the Player of the Month: number 2, Sam Rupp; number 9, Ben Lake; number 12, JJ Piccinich; and number 26, Mark Cooper. Voting will open on Wednesday and continue until Friday. Get your votes in at AVFTB on Twitter, and we'll post links on Facebook and the likes so you can get your votes in. Sam Rupp, Ben Lake, JJ Piccinich, or Mark Cooper. Right, let's quickly whiz through a bit of news and then we'll start to wrap things up. Nottingham Panthers continue their internal meltdown. An injury to Kevin Carr meant that Will Curlin was parachuted in cold to the game against the Steelers. And I say cold because despite Nottingham being in a position of not challenging for quite a while, nor being in much danger of losing a playoff position, Kevin Carr still has played 99% of league minutes for the Nottingham Panthers before this weekend. So Curlin was had been called in next to no occasions, and now had to play Sheffield and at home to Coventry, and it didn't go well. A 6-3 defeat to the Steelers in Sheffield, and then a 10-4 thrashing by the Blaze in front of their own goals. I think, just briefly, Davey, I think that means it just goes to show how important it is to have a backup who isn't cold and does get minutes.
You started talking about the other teams there, Paddy, and I started looking at my phone, so I don't really know what your question
What
was.
about Will Curlin? So Will Curlin only getting
Will Curlin.
minutes.
Will Curlin,
I know.
I know over. I think he played against us, am I right, Simon, early in the season in Belfast.
He came in for
briefly when Carr got injured.
Carr got tossed.
Yeah. I think his save percentage is down around 83, and you get what you get when you're sticking a goalie in who's got 83%. He lets twice as many goals in as the top goaltenders. Unfortunate for the Panthers that they're having to do that at the minute. It's good for him to get ice time. It's good experience, and Panthers are in that kind of dead space now where they're either going to finish 4th or 5th. And would it be right? 1, 2, 3. So 4th would play 5th either way. So it doesn't matter whether they finish 4th. It doesn't really matter whether they finish 5th. With Coventry, they're probably locked in now with Coventry in the playoff places. So good for him to get a bit of ice time. It'll do his confidence no harm, I don't think.
I think, but Simon, we look at some of the backup goalies. Of course, we're good. We've got Jackson Whistle, who's quite very experienced and is able to step in. But you look at the way Downey in Manchester. What's the name of the guy in Coventry?
CJ Mott and
Hadley coming in. These are guys who are getting the experience in games, and okay, likes of CJ Mott going out has meant that Hadley's had to come in, but for Curlin to come in, and he was left high and dry by his day.
Yeah, I mean,
Scott Cameron,
having to go to Sheffield and play your backup goaltender. When we seen what was happening, I'm led to believe Carr's hurt. So, he's been thrown into the deep end. From the looks of it, he didn't get much help, and he certainly didn't get much help the night after because they were humiliated in their own building. I've seen Aaron Lord had tweeted about it. There's an awful lot of Panthers fans that tweeted about it. None of them were having a go at Will Curlin. Again, playing 7 or 8 minutes for the season until that point when there's 3 weeks left in the season. One, you're overworking your own goaltender. You obviously don't have much trust in your backup. Until you're left with a position where you have to play him. So I feel a bit bad for Will Curlin. He played, I think, wasn't he in Sheffield last year for the Elite Series?
Yes, I think so.
And I'm pretty sure they played him quite a bit during that Elite Series as well. So, look, the bottom line is Ben Barnes isn't going to be around forever. Jackson Whistle's 26 now, so we'd like to think he's going to be around for another 5 or 6 years, maybe more. So you're going to have to, somebody else is going to have to step up. You've got the kid from Dundee, Bryven Priest, who stepped up big style for Dundee when Morrison went out. So, they're getting opportunities to play, but their defense let them down. Their forwards let them down. There was obviously no back checking. There was guys that maybe checked out for the season. It's just something like, every minute of this season, I'm pretty sure Starrett from Glasgow has played 98 to 99% of the season as well. So Jordan McLaughlin's not getting any ice time. Now, one, it's not going to do you need to get your goalies in. If you're getting beat 4 or 5-0 in this league, yes, it happens where you come back. Manchester did this a few weeks ago, but the likelihood is you're going to get beat. If you're 4 or 5 down into the third period, the likelihood is most teams will be able to control that, and the likelihood is you're going to get beat. For me, put your backup in. Give him those minutes. Give your number one guy that rest. It's tough one. It really is tough one. It's the hardest position in hockey because you've got to sit there and wait for your chance. And when your chance comes along, you might be put in 47, 48 minutes with nothing else to play for, and you just have to try and keep warm. So it's a real difficult one. I feel bad for Will Curlin, but the Panthers were brutal at the weekend.
Yeah, which was great to see.
Which is great. You took the words right out of my mouth, mate.
Great to see.
He's raging. He didn't get to say
it. Sheffield went on to drop points in Manchester in a shootout when John Armstrong missed an open net in sudden death, only for Delmas to be the hero, keeping the Storm alive in their playoff hunt. Nothing thus far from Dops, I don't think, on Lyndon Springer, who got 5 for fighting a 5+ game for kicking. That might just be left at that. Fife's playoff hopes hang by a thread, but they are still alive after a 4-3 win over the Stars. And as for the Stars, top marks to Charlie Combs, whose celebration winning an OT goal over the Clan on Saturday was very entertaining. Dive reminiscent of a Jurgen Klinsmann, says.
Or a Bobby Orr.
Bobby Orr. I think it
that's-
was more of a Jurgen Klinsmann-esque, considering the comments that Dundee
Like,
were getting.
There seems, from looking at games between Glasgow and Dundee, they've built up quite a rivalry this year. You know, they seem to really do not like each other, which is something I really love. And it's, you know, they say that our rivalries with the Glasgow clan. It's not. You know, we've probably got a better rivalry with Cardiff or maybe Sheffield. You know, well, especially at the minute because we've hammered Nottingham this year and we've hammered most other teams. But it's one of those ones where I really enjoy those types of games, and I know there's been a lot of. I seen, was it Yellowhorn was doing the Conor McGregor a few weeks ago against Dundee, and then there was somebody else come out and did something. It might have been Kyle Haas actually, that scored a goal and went haywire with 6-3 up on probably their 4th or 5th 5-on-3 that game. So there's obviously a little bit of bitterness there. I'm not too sure if they play each other the rest this season. But you know, I'm all for it. I love that type of thing.
Help pass sell tickets, which is only good for the league as well.
Absolutely.
You know.
Team GB under 18s, the Hamels, Kel Beattie, Max Stewart, Davey, doing the business.
Be careful what I say here now, Fatty, because I want to pump the boys' tires a wee bit, and they're obviously playing for Team GB with a red, white, and blue in their chest. They're very proud young boys there, but seeing Max Stewart coming in there that day and roofing that into the top of the net,
OT winner,
a lovely selly from him as well, as they say, you know. But Carter, I think hat trick. Appreciate. I don't know whether we talked about this was before or after last week's podcast. I just can't remember. So hat trick in a warm up game. Kale getting points. Carter and the other Hamel twin, Cameron. Sorry, Cameron. I do know your name. And Mac all contributing. I see Mac with the A on the shirt as well. You know, alternate captain. So great for them guys. That elite league experience will have done them no harm at all, and they go into those tournaments now with real confidence of being sort of semi-pro, you know, athletes here. So you know, good luck to them in the rest of this tournament, and hopefully they can stick another few in the onion bag for us.
Simon, the experience for these kids, and we say we pump their tires. We love seeing them playing for we've seen Mac and Kel playing for, you know, in Giants colours, but for them to get this opportunity and the Hamel twins to get this opportunity and actually show what they can do is phenomenally good.
I don't think it's any surprise to especially the people involved with Team GB at that age level. You know, to have 4 players from one junior development program involved in an under 18 world championship is absolutely outstanding. I don't care what other club. I'm pretty sure there's no other club has got 4 members of their junior development program playing for Team GB this year, and that's insane. Considering again that this is all coming down to Rob Stewart, Mo Morrison, Shane Johnson, all the guys that have had their experience, and yes, they've got their kids and all playing there, which is even better because they see them develop and they have the opportunity to get those minutes and you know. I didn't watch the game today, but I was following on Twitter. Kel got the first goal of the game today for Team GB.
Yes.
Obviously, Mac picked up the game winner on the rebound of his own shot, and you know, certainly Carter and Cameron are really doing well as well, and it's fantastic. I think it's absolutely brilliant, and hopefully they can take this form forward. Where this is probably going to be one of their most important summers if they want to make it as hockey players. They have to put everything into it. Okay, they can take a couple of weeks off after the season, but to see from the end of May, they need to be focusing on getting bigger and better and stronger for the start of next season, because next season is going to be huge for them. Mac will be turning into 18. Kel's already 18, you know, going into 19. Kel, you know, I'm not sure what's happening next year with regards to you know, the boys getting nice time in Belfast. I have no idea if they're getting nice time with Solway or maybe Leeds again for Mac. But this is time where they really need to step up, because coming out of under 18 hockey to play full-time elite league hockey is a massive, massive jump. And if they want to make that, then they're going to have to put the hard work into it, and it starts right now. And they're doing a really, really good job.
Yep, and more power to them.
And by the way, I don't know if I said last week, I was fortunate enough to be up in one of the boxes with Simon and Laura and stuff during the Challenge Cup final, and Mac and Kel were in it. And I'm not trying to be condescending or anything. They were in their club suits and all, an absolute gentleman, really, really well, conduct themselves so well now. You know, that little level of professionalism with being with the team all the time and we're a simultaneous or shirt and tie organization when it comes to home games, and those guys are they're just great young men, and I'm sure Rob and I met Kel's dad. Is it Jordy?
Jordy, top lad.
I met
he
Kel's mum and dad as well.
He will be sitting in Estonia right now watching this.
Hey, Jordy. I've known the chirping Brady. I met him on the ice after the while the presentations and stuff, and he came over and introduced himself to me. He says, I'll listen to the podcast. And it mustn't be anything else on the TV, to be fair, but Kel and Mac are an absolute credit to their parents. The way they conduct themselves around the rink, and I wish them nothing but success when it comes to Team GB, but of course with our Belfast Giants too. Looking forward to having them back in Belfast for this run-in.
You've got to chirp Kel with his suit.
Was it Beezer wasn't it?
He's wearing a wee check grey suit. He looks the part now. He's got the wee thin tan all on, and just strutting about like Billy Big Balls.
It's not a drill, mate. It's not a drill.
No, 100%. And his dad Jordy comes in and sits down where that's the security man. Go home now. Here, I'll just do your door. You can just shoot on there. Jordy sits down. Then Julie comes in, his mum, and they're all sitting waiting on him coming out after the game as well. Certainly got to chirp him every single night of the week. He's a good lad.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Good luck to them, and hopefully there'll be more points on the board as that tournament continues. Finally, before the league table, as was broken earlier in the show by Jason Taffellery, Malcolm Cameron tonight signed on for another year of exploding dogs that kissed their sister at the Glasgow Clan. Right, let's have a quick look. If I pull this up at the league table, I should have had this prepared.
Were we supposed to be surprised at that?
Oh yeah, Malcolm Cameron. Quick look at the league table. Belfast Giants 50 games, 80 points. Steelers 1 game less, 77. Then all the also rans. Cardiff 67, Nottingham 40 on 51, and then there's a real battle here between Coventry, Dundee, Glasgow, and Guildford, and the Storm are still in it, with only about 5 games of their season to go. But it all comes down, of course, to this weekend and then the weekend after for the Belfast Giants. But this weekend is such a huge one. And the 2 games, Sheffield Steelers versus the Belfast Giants at the Utilita Arena in Sheffield. Saturday at 7 p.m. on Steelers TV and Sunday at 4 p.m. live on Premier Sports. There are a number of scenarios where the Belfast Giants could be crowned as Elite League champions this weekend. I'm only going to focus on scenario 1 because scenario as put forward by the Elite League on their Twitter site, because scenario 2 involves the Steelers getting beat on Wednesday by the Manchester Storm in Sheffield, which I think is quite low in probability. I know that Sheffield took the win in Sheffield, but I know Manchester took the win in Manchester, but Manchester in Manchester are very different, different beast, as we discovered ourselves. We went to overtime against them, having been 4 goals, 5 goals up. But playing Manchester there is different to playing Manchester in Sheffield. So I'm sort of going to assume that Sheffield are going to win that. But if they do, it is a case that Belfast Giants just need 2 wins from the weekend, one of which in regulation, to be crowned Elite League champions. Any thoughts, gentlemen?
I don't think it's all cut and paste with regards to Manchester and Sheffield tomorrow night.
Think so?
Yeah, because Sheffield are fighting for their lives to get into playoffs. I think Sheffield will win, but I don't think it's going to be easy for them. They'll be hurting from the weekend. They've got some really, really good players in that lineup. There's no doubt about that at all. But Manchester are a desperate team, and they need to win it. They need to get out there and get something out of that game. They know they're still a few points behind Guildford. Yes, they do play Guildford 2 times in the next, or for the last weekend. I can't remember who they've got, after this.
Glasgow.
After the weekend. Who, sorry?
Sheffield?
Manchester.
Manchester. Oh no, I can have a look.
So they're fighting that cause, and it's one of them ones where you just never know what will happen. I do expect Sheffield to win, but I don't think it's going to be easy.
Storm play Sheffield away, Glasgow away, Cardiff at home, and then a home and away against Guildford.
Cardiff have sort of switched. I know they got the win there against Dundee last Friday night, and then on Saturday, I think it was, they get beaten overtime by Guildford. So they're sort of looking. I think they've got their eye on getting everybody fit and ready to go for the playoffs. So goodness knows what's going to happen there. I'm not ruling out that game tomorrow night. I think I think I actually might watch it tomorrow night. Sheffield and Manchester. I think it could be a really good game.
Davey won't watch it. Will you, Davey?
Mate, do you want me to? If they're playing the card, pull the curtains.
Pull the curtains. The scenario 2, should Manchester win the game, is the Belfast Giants would only need 3 points from the 4 available. So an OT loss and a regulation or an OT win would hand them the title. Davey, the nerves? You got any?
No. I trust in this team. Look, see whatever way this shakes down. Both teams have had one unbelievable season. When you look at the standings and you even see the distance now, Cardiff have dropped off and then the drop off to 4th place. The 2 teams at the top have had incredible seasons. I believe in this team strongly that we're going to come out on top here. Will it happen this weekend? Don't know, but we've got 2 weekends to get it done. So let's just focus on the first game, focus on the first shift, go from there. I'm
Absolutely.
not nervous,
Those 2 games. Sheffield Steelers against the Belfast Giants, second against first, Saturday at 7 p.m. at Utility Arena in Sheffield. Seems to be quite a hefty Belfast Giants following heading over. A lot of late bookings, considering that the Belfast Giants could lift the Elite League title this weekend. That first game on Saturday, if you're not going over there, join JJ Fernley on Steelers TV. And on Sunday, Steelers against Belfast Giants, Sunday at 4 p.m, Utility Arena, and you can join our good friend Mr. Aaron Murphy and Paul 80 on Premier Sports. Any other business, boys?
I have a couple. The first one is any OSC members that are on watching the live broadcast tonight or the recording tomorrow or any other day, check your emails from the OSC. We have organized a special treat for any OSC members who are able to attend next Wednesday. Adam has invited the OSC members in for an open practice. So you've got to be an OSC member. You've got the opportunity to go to the arena, but check your emails. You have to respond to your email with a chance to go along next Wednesday. The second one, this will come out tomorrow. So this is, I know we're going live at the minute, but this is coming out tomorrow, the news. The OSC and the Giants have managed to get a couple of extra shirts from the Challenge Cup. They're signed by the players, and the money that we are raised from these, they're going to be on a raffle site called Raffle. We'll post details of it. And we're going to raise the money for Martin Latal. So him and his family, I know he's going through a difficult period with himself and his Ukrainian wife and their family as well. And I'm led to believe it's about 11 of his family, or her family, sorry, they've managed to get out of Ukraine and get, I think they're pretty sure they're staying in Prague at the minute. So they're managing to house them and feed them and try and do good things for them while that and the situation's going on in Ukraine. So we're raising money for, and all the funds we raise for those shirts will be going to Martin Natal.
Fantastic. Davey?
I just want to throw a wee bit in. Smallsy again got us involved with the Bradley family, and just want to throw a wee video up here.
Along with this signed puck, Westwood puck. We just want to say an absolute huge thank you for all the donations in Cooper's name. It has been so overwhelming for us as a family, and it really does highlight the whole family element that the Belfast Giants has, and it's the reason why we get into the hockey. We're a team like any, or we're a family like any where me and the boys like our football. Jackie doesn't. Jackie likes the tennis. We don't. But from the first time we went to a Giants game, we fell in love, and we've become season ticket supporters. So thank you from the bottom of our hearts. And now these two lovely boys are going to press the button behind me and do the draw. So boys, if you would come up, everybody is in. You'll just not press it yet, wee boys. Everybody is in. We got a couple of last minute ones there that are also added in. So we are ready to go. Good luck, everyone. There you go, boys. Just press it down there.
which could go on quite a while.
Whoa.
And the winner is Tara Knowles. Well done, Tara. We will get in touch if you see this as soon as we post the video. Please get in touch with us as well, and we'll arrange to get it to you either through a game or via post. Thank you again, everyone. Really appreciate it.
Fantastic.
So we were very, as I say, I'm very fortunate. A couple of weeks ago, Laura asked us to get involved in a small way to help them raise a bit of funds. At the start, they wanted to try and raise £1,000, which someone told me would be like an incubator per hospital. Around £500 helps them get money towards or operate whatever towards an incubator. Ended up coming up with almost £1,600. So for everybody that put a fiver in Cooper's name, we can't thank you enough for your support. We're very fortunate that we're in a position to be able to use our name, use our platforms to help people raise money where they want to. So I can only say thanks very much to everybody that got involved in that, and to raise, 1.5 times what they wanted to raise. I'm sure David and the family there are really, really delighted.
Yeah, outstanding stuff. It's lovely. It's great to see these guys involved, and I think they're absolutely right. The family ethos of the Belfast Giants is something that really shines through, especially in times like this, and helping look after one of our own. It doesn't matter how long you've been a supporter. We always look after our own, and that's just another prime example of that.
If we can't use our platform and the contacts we have to do good, then we're not here for the right reasons. So I'm always happy to put my shoulder to the wheel.
Sorry, says you were going to say something.
Go ahead, Debbie. Last thing, and I know she's going to be squandered with us. I wanted to say, I hope get well soon to Christine Kerr. Her and Johnny basically run the OSC, and everybody else, Andrea and all the rest of the guys, they put all the hard work in the OSC and they stand at the desk on all the game nights and what have you. But she had an operation last week, and she's feeling it at the minute, so she's sitting at home, and she's sitting watching this right now because she messaged me there about an hour ago saying, "You look happy," but yeah, she's scundered. So get well soon, Christine, because you're sitting in the house doing nothing at the minute, and Johnny's having to pick up all the slack, as am I as well. So get your finger out and get back to the arena again.
Here. Get well soon. Right, is that us? I think that's us done. It's been a long one. It's been a jam-packed one. Big thanks to JJ, to Murph, the Sheds. Big thanks to everybody who's been watching live, sending in comments. Big thanks to everybody who's watching recorded. And thanks to you, Davey, for putting together that video and the bits and pieces like that. And Sis for organising interviews and things like that. It's been an enjoyable show. No Joel this week. He's off doing other things. He's a bit stretched the way I was the other week. So we'll hopefully have him back next week. The 2 games this weekend, I don't need to tell you what they are. 2 games against the Sheffield Steelers in Sheffield. Saturday at 7 p.m, Sunday at 4 p.m, Saturday on Steelers TV, Sunday on Premier Sports. The Belfast Giants, with 2 wins, could be crowned back-to-back Elite League champions. You can get us at AVFTB on Twitter, where you can find the Player of the Month competition. You can get us on Facebook, on YouTube, on Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, the works. Thanks, boys. Yeah, peace. Wherever you are this weekend, if you are in Sheffield, we really hope you do enjoy your hockey. I hope we all do. We'll catch you here next time on A View from